Hi guys, a very warm welcome to you from Dubai. My name is Ash and welcome to episode 10 of our fragrance reviews. The fragrance that I'll be reviewing today is called Enigma from ROJA Parfums, and Enigma is a series of 5 Parfum Cologne collection that ROJA introduced back in 2019. Enigma being one of them, and the other 4 being Scandal, Elysium, Vetiver and Danger. Here's the packaging that the fragrance comes in, and a detailed unboxing and overall presentation can be seen on our Instagram page. We usually keep the YouTube channel for our reviews, and we use our Instagram page to show you the complete presentation and unboxing of the fragrance. Here's the bottle that the fragrance comes in. It's a really gorgeous bottle and has the iconic cap that most of the ROJA perfumes come in, with the ROJA signature on top as well as on the neck of the cap. As you can see, here's the bottle and the atomizer on top. I purchased this fragrance from ROJA's boutique in Dubai Mall. They have quite a huge boutique in one of the perfume departmental stores in Dubai Mall, and I had the opportunity to go and visit the store and also try out the entire collection of all 5 fragrances, as you can see in the image that I've just provided. And the one that really caught my attention was Enigma, and I will be doing a detailed review of this today so that you can know how this fragrance is and if it's worth your money. Upon purchasing the fragrance, I also got a set of 5 samples, 2 ml samples, which has the entire collection of the Parfum Cologne collection that I received when I bought the fragrance. And in the future I will be doing a detailed review of each one of them, so I can give you my impression of what I think of this collection. So I have taken the note breakdown from ROJA's website and kind of written it down to explain to you exactly what notes this fragrance has, and then we can go a little bit in depth of what I get out of this fragrance and if any of these notes are dominant in the journey of this fragrance. Up top we have Bergamot, and in the middle notes we have Geranium, Rose de Mai, Neroli, Jasmin de Grasse, Heliptrope, and on the base we have Cardamom, Ginger, Pepper, Cognac, Tobacco, Sandalwood, Benzoin, Vanilla and Ambergris. So quite an extensive note to begin with. So now let's break down, do a sniff and spray test and give you our impression of what we get from this fragrance. So I have been wearing this fragrance for a whole of last week because I wanted to be quite accurate with my expression or my review about this fragrance. Hence I gave it a couple of wearings so I can give you my exact opinion about this fragrance. So immediately on top, the opening is very sparkly. Okay, that sparkly bergamot which kind of stays on top, but it's not very evident. Okay, usually bergamot is very evident and in its opening if the fragrance has it, but this particular fragrance immediately in the opening is very sparkly. Okay, it's very sparkly, it's sweet, and it has that kind of a soda sparkle in it, which a lot of people in the fragrance community have given it that Coca-Cola / Dr. Pepper kind of vibe. And that is there, that's very evident because the fragrance is quite sparkly to begin with. But But that sparkle that comes from the fragrance is not, it doesn't put you off in any way, doesn't try to replicate being Coca-Cola or a Dr. Pepper kind of fragrance. The fragrance is quite boozy. It has that cognac in it that gives it that booziness. It has the pepper and the ginger that gives it that spicy kick. Overall, it's a amazing fragrance that is very distinct. It's a very different fragrance and completely sets apart from what's already out there. So the dry down on the strip after about 30 minutes or so gives you that sweet vanilla tobacco vibe. And this tobacco again is nothing like the tobacco you have smelled before. It's not a very pungent tobacco that makes you feel that you're wearing a tobacco fragrance. It still maintains that sparkliness mixed with vanilla, mixed with that tobacco, mixed with neroli, and that cognac is definitely something which remains towards the end of this fragrance. Overall, the fragrance is really good and very masculine. I would not see any women carrying this fragrance. It's mostly a masculine fragrance. It's it falls in that category of a men's fragrance more than a unisex fragrance. But my experience with it has been really good. This is a top class fragrance, and the ingredients can be, when you smell it, you can actually feel that the quality of ingredients of very high quality. This is definitely worthy of being a signature scent, just like Dior Fahrenheit did in its previous years. People love that fragrance, and a lot of people also disliked it for being too bold and for being too different as compared to fragrances that they would have tried from other brands. The Fahrenheit was a completely different league in its time, and Enigma is also that kind of a fragrance. The fragrance is very unique, something that your nose would have never smelled before. If you remember in the early years when Dior came out with its Fahrenheit fragrance, you got that immediate burst of petroleum in its opening, which was so different and unique that a lot of people fell in love with it because they had never smelled something like this. And I'm not saying that Enigma follows that way of Dior's Fahrenheit. It's nothing it's nothing of that kind of a fragrance. But in its opening and towards the journey of the fragrance, you will be surprised on the way this smells, because if you tried out Dior's Fahrenheit in the past, it gave the fragrance a very different kind of approach. The same kind of vibe I get from Enigma. The minute I smelled it, I felt that this is something I have never smelled before ever. So it's a very unique, a very different kind of fragrance, which means it's quite bold. It's not for the faint-hearted who are used to a particular style of an opening or a particular style of fragrance. This one will completely surprise you, but surprise you in a good way. In my opinion, this fragrance is worthy of being a really good seller for the fragrance or the frag heads that are looking for something different. The only thing is that if this was a little bit cheaper, I would see this fragrance being adopted in huge numbers by a lot of people who were earlier using Dior's Fahrenheit, or are looking for something really sparkly, something really unique and different, worthy of being a signature scent. The performance of the fragrance has been fairly good. I have been wearing it on my skin, about 4 to 5 sprays, on my chest, on either side of my neck, one on the back, and sometimes I also wear it on my wrist. And the performance has been good. The sillage is about 30 minutes to 40 minutes of good sillage. I mean, a lot of people have complimented me on knowing what kind of fragrance I was wearing. It was something that they had never smelled before. It's a classic, not classic, it's a masterpiece in its own respect. The projection, again, 1 hour to 1.5 hours, and the longevity is quite good. It lasted on my skin a good 10 to 12 hours, and towards the end, on the end dry down, you can get that trace of a powdery vanilla mixed with a slight hint of tobacco towards the end. So performance wise, I would definitely recommend. This is it's an expensive fragrance. I paid about $300 for this 100 ml version. I think they just make it in 100 ml, and with that I got that free sample set that I just showed you in the beginning of this video. So it's on the pricier side, but I feel that if this fragrance was a little bit cheaper, or if somebody else made this fragrance and made it like affordable, like sub $70 to $100 mark, I see a lot of people picking this up just so that they can fall in that unique fragrance category, because once you wear this, you have not worn anything like this before, I can assure you that, and you would definitely stand out from the crowd smelling very different and very unique. So that's my take on it. And I haven't worn this on my clothes, but the performance that I told you about is basically what I got from my skin. So should you buy this fragrance at this price? My answer is, if you can afford it, surely. Definitely a fragrance that should not be missed by anybody who's a frag head and anybody who wants to try something different. I'm sure you have never smelled something as classy as this fragrance. So I would definitely recommend you to go to any of the boutiques that sell ROJA perfumes and try it out. And if you don't have a ROJA perfumes boutique close to you, or if none of your retailers are carrying it, I would recommend ordering a decant from any seller who's selling you a 10 ml or 5 ml sample and try it out. I don't know if ROJA sells these online through their website, but if you can get a hold of this set, I would definitely recommend it. It has all 5 fragrances, and this would be a good way for you to start. I hope I've covered this fragrance well. It was not an easy task to give you my opinion about this fragrance because it's so different and unique. The note breakdown is also quite extensive, and if you ask my final opinion, I would definitely tell you that this is a masculine scent that leans more towards a sweet vanilla tobacco kind of a fragrance with that boozy, sparkly kind of vibe to it. So this is my opinion of it, and if you liked my video, please do like and share my videos with your friends and colleagues, and also subscribe to our channel and keep coming back for more reviews such as this in the future. Thank you very much.